Kids, CartoonMaster is here. Let's join us.
Thumbelina. Once upon a time, a kind woman longed to have a child. One day, she visited a kind old witch and asked for help. The witch gave her a tiny seed and said, "Plant this in a flower pot, and you shall have your wish." The woman did as she was told. Soon, a beautiful tulip grew, and when it bloomed, inside sat a tiny girl, no bigger than a thumb. The woman named her Thumbelina and loved her dearly. One night, as Thumbelina slept in a walnut shell, a large, ugly toad hopped through the window. He saw the tiny girl and thought, "She would make a perfect wife for my son." So, he took her away to the river where he and his son lived. Thumbelina woke up and was frightened. The toad placed her on a lily pad, saying, "You will stay here until we prepare your new home." But poor Thumbelina did not want to marry the toad. The little fish in the river felt sorry for her. "She is too sweet for the nasty toad," they whispered. So they nibbled the stem of the lily pad until it broke free, and Thumbelina floated away down the stream. As she drifted, a large maybug swooped down and carried her to a tree. "What a pretty little creature," he said. But soon, other maybugs came by and made fun of her. "She only has 2 legs. She is so different from us." Feeling ashamed, the maybug left her alone in the forest. Thumbelina wandered through the woods, eating honey from flowers and drinking morning dew. She lived happily until winter arrived. The cold and snow made life difficult for the tiny girl. One day, shivering from the cold, Thumbelina found a little hole in the ground. Inside lived a kind field mouse who welcomed her. "Stay with me for the winter, little one," she said warmly. In return, Thumbelina helped the mouse with housework and told her stories. The field mouse had a wealthy neighbor, a mole, who often visited. He was blind and disliked the sun and fresh air, but he admired Thumbelina's beauty and sweet voice. One day, while walking in the mole's underground tunnels, Thumbelina found a swallow lying weak and cold. "Oh, poor bird! He is still alive!" she cried. The mole didn't care for birds and said, "Let him die. He is useless." But Thumbelina secretly cared for the swallow, feeding him and keeping him warm. As spring came, the swallow regained his strength. "Come with me, little one," he chirped. But Thumbelina stayed, as the field mouse had been kind to her. Soon, the mole decided to marry Thumbelina. "You will be a fine wife," he said. But Thumbelina was unhappy. She loved the sun and flowers and didn't want to live underground forever. On the day of the wedding, she stood outside one last time, gazing at the blue sky. Suddenly, the swallow swooped down. "Come with me now, dear Thumbelina. Fly away with me to the warm lands." She didn't hesitate. She climbed onto the swallow's back, and they soared into the sky. The swallow carried her to a land of sunshine and flowers. There, in the middle of a beautiful flower, lived a tiny prince with golden wings. He was the king of the flower fairies. He fell in love with Thumbelina and asked her to be his queen. She happily said yes, and the fairies gave her a new name, May Blossom. Thumbelina finally found a home where she was truly happy. She and the fairy prince lived happily ever after in their magical kingdom of flowers.
Please like this video and subscribe to show your support. You are the best.